Hi, this is Anthony Dowell, adjunct faculty and GIS curriculum developer with the Mid-Atlantic Center for Emergency Management and Public Safety at Frederick Community College. And today I'm going to provide you with an overview of the Information and Communications Technology pathway, also known as the GIS pathway, within the Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness program. During today's session, I'll provide an overview of the GIS pathway, including a summary of the overarching goals. I'll provide a summary of each of the two GIS courses that comprise the GIS pathway, which include GIS 1, which is an introduction to geographic information systems, and GIS 2, which focuses on advanced topics in geographic information systems. I'll provide an overview of the curriculum updates that have been put in place over the last couple years since the program was initially rolled out in 2016. I'll provide some information on the Esri ArcGIS entry certification exam, including information on how the exam is administered and preparation resources for both instructors and students, and provide some additional instructor resources that are available to help instructors deliver and prepare content for students. This slide provides an overview of the Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness program. There are 3 tracks within the Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness program. Each of the tracks begins with the Foundations of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, which is a 1-credit course, and ends with an internship or capstone experience, which is also 1 credit. The 3 tracks are Homeland Security Sciences, Criminal Justice and Law Enforcement, and Information and Communications Technology, which is the GIS pathway. Each pathway contains 2 1-credit courses, and those courses for the Information and Communications Technology pathway are an Introduction to Geographic Information Systems, which is GIS 1, and Advanced Skill-Based Training for Geographic Information Systems and Remote Sensing, which is GIS 2. Some of the overarching goals of the GIS pathway include providing students with an introduction to geospatial applications and the GIS and geospatial industry as a whole, providing students with recognition of how GIS fits within the Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness fields, helping students to better understand key geographic and spatial data concepts, which include everything from coordinate systems and map projections all the way through spatial analytic techniques, helping students to develop a basic proficiency with the Esri ArcGIS software suite, which includes ArcGIS Online, ArcGIS for desktop and extensions, as well as ArcGIS Pro. Open source applications are also covered in some level in these courses, and helping students to prepare and sit for the Esri Desktop Entry Certification exam. This slide provides a high-level overview of the 2 courses that comprise the GIS pathway. HSEP GIS 1, the Introduction to GIS course, contains 6 units and 32 total lessons, and introduces students to ArcGIS Online, ArcGIS Desktop, and ArcGIS Pro, as well as several open-source tools and platforms, including OpenStreetMap. The FEMA IS 922 course for applications of GIS and emergency management is also covered in this course, and within this course, students will complete all the modules and sit for the exam and will leave with a FEMA IS 922 course certificate from FEMA. HSEP GIS 2 consists of 28 lessons within 6 units, plus some supplemental lessons that we've developed to help instructors deliver a balloon mapping project with their class. This project could also be tailored to UAS or drones in the event that instructors have access to the equipment and technology. This course concludes with a final GIS project, the topics for which are developed between the instructors and students. And the Esri ArcGIS entry certification exam is also covered within this course, which includes the preparation for and delivery of the examination. Esri is the GIS industry's leading software vendor, and the ArcGIS for Desktop suite is used extensively within these 2 courses. This includes the use of ArcMap, which is the most heavily used application in these 2 courses and is used for map production, data visualization, and data analytics, ArcCatalog, which is used for data management, ArcGlobe and ArcScene, which are used for 3D data visualization, and ArcGIS Pro. ArcGIS Pro is the newest application added to the ArcGIS for Desktop suite, and provides users with the ability to work in both 2D and 3D simultaneously, and is increasingly emphasized on the ArcGIS for Desktop entry exam. These 2 courses also cover extensions such as Network Analyst, Spatial Analyst, and 3D Analyst, Model Builder, and Python, which is a scripting language that is integrated within the ArcGIS platform. Access to this desktop suite is covered under the MSDE statewide licensing agreement with Esri up to the most recent version, which is 10.8, although 10.6 is the recommended version for teaching and delivering these two courses. Esri's ArcGIS Online platform is also heavily used within the pathway. This is a web-based Esri application that provides the ability to share and access web mapping of applications and data within a fully online environment. The benefit of using ArcGIS Online is that students do not have to have any software installed and only need access to a web browser and internet to be able to access and deliver content. Through the Esri Schools Mapping Software Bundle, K-12 schools are able to request a free subscription to the ArcGIS Online platform. This can support up to 500 individual users for a school and gives access to credits that can be used for online data processing and data storage. Within ArcGIS Online, individual users, including students and instructors, are provided individual login accounts, and instructors have the ability to create individual groups for their classes and to share specific content with classes or individual students as needed. ArcGIS Online can be a great teaching tool for displaying data, filtering and querying data, and visualizing data, including making maps and applications, as well as doing data editing and basic analytics within the online environment. This is a great stepping stone to going to the ArcGIS desktop suite, including ArcMap and ArcGIS Pro. I'll now provide an in-depth look at each of the two courses that makes up the GIS pathway, starting with HSEP GIS 1. In the Introduction to GIS course, there are 6 total units, starting with Introduction to GIS, in which students will be introduced to the GIS industry, learn about the various fields and disciplines in which GIS and geospatial technology is utilized, and understand what GIS software providers and packages are easily available. In Unit 2, students will begin building foundational knowledge. They'll be introduced to key geographic and spatial data concepts, including map projections and coordinate systems, and they'll be exposed to several open source tools, including Google Earth and OpenStreetMap, as well as ArcGIS Online. In Unit 3, students will be introduced to the ArcGIS for Desktop suite and begin working in ArcMap and learn about the various components of the ArcGIS suite. Unit 4 is exploring spatial data, in which students will begin working with spatial data within the ArcGIS desktop environment, including shapefiles and geodatabases. In Unit 5, Data Management and Data Visualization, students will begin managing data within ArcGIS desktop, including ArcMap and ArcCatalog. They'll begin creating their own basic maps and data visualizations and understand how to add data, how to access data, and how to manipulate data within the ArcGIS desktop environment. In Unit 6, students will begin performing high-level spatial analyses and to learn about how to identify patterns in spatial data using data queries, statistics, and analytic tools that are provided in the ArcGIS desktop suite. This course will conclude with a FEMA IS 922 certificate for all students. FEMA IS 922, which is Applications of GIS for Emergency Management, is delivered through the FEMA Emergency Management Institute. This course provides an overview of GIS technology as used to support emergency management and is a great way to get students thinking about the way that GIS technology is used in this field. This course covers the history and fundamentals of GIS, how GIS is specifically used in emergency management, data queries and analyses, and some information on GIS tools that are used within the emergency management industry, such as HASIS-MH. This course contains 6 total lessons, which are spread throughout Units 1 through 6 of the GIS 1 course, and at the end, students will earn the certificate through the completion of the final examination. HSEP GIS 2 also contains 6 total units, beginning with Unit 1, which is Map Design and Cartography. In this unit, students will be introduced to map elements and key cartographic design principles and considerations. Unit 2 covers spatial and statistical analysis, and students will learn about key tools and techniques for analyzing data, including the use of spatial analysts within ArcGIS. Unit 3 covers geodatabase concepts, where students will be introduced to the Geodatabase data model and will learn about personal, file, and enterprise geodatabases. Unit 4 covers 3D data and visualization, and students will be introduced to the use of ArcScene, ArcGlobe, and ArcGIS Pro for the management, editing, and visualization of 3D data. In Unit 5, students will learn about geoprocessing tools and models, and will learn about key geoprocessing toolboxes and the use of Model Builder for automating tasks and scripting. Unit 6 covers a certification exam review for the ArcGIS desktop entry exam, as well as the preparation and delivery of a final project and presentation that will be developed in combination between the students and instructors. The Esri ArcGIS Desktop Entry Certification Examination is one of the newest additions to the Esri certification program. Within the ArcGIS Desktop Certification track, there are 3 total exams available: ArcGIS Desktop Entry, ArcGIS Desktop Associate, and ArcGIS Desktop Professional. The ArcGIS Desktop Entry exam is specifically designed for ArcGIS users with less than 2 years of total experience, including entry-level GIS professionals and GIS students. The format of this exam is 80 multiple-choice, multiple-select questions with a time limit of 2 total hours. This exam is recommended for completion of HSEP GIS 2. There are currently 3 available versions of the exam: EADE 19001, which is the current release, as well as 2 previous releases for 10.4 and 10.5. I'll discuss the differences and recommendations for taking this exam in a few slides. The HSEP GIS 2 course contains several lesson plans that are focused on helping students prepare for the Esri ArcGIS Desktop Entry exam. In addition, we've developed a sample question bank that can be used by instructors to help develop exams that mimic the Esri test. The sample question banks are aligned with Esri's qualifications and skill measures, including the 5 key areas: ArcGIS fundamentals, data management, mapping and visualization, sharing data across the platform, and performing analysis. The sample question bank is provided in Microsoft Excel format and is LMS compatible and can easily be ingested into Blackboard or your LMS of choice. It should also be noted that instructor exam offerings are available, typically at a discounted rate, to allow instructors to sit for the exam and better understand what students are preparing for. Esri certification exams can be taken at Pearson testing centers or can be administered through the Pearson Anywhere Proctored program. This program allows exams to be administered on-site at school locations by a certified proctor. The Mid-Atlantic Center for Emergency Management and Public Safety has a certified proctor that can be used to help support these activities. Through this program, tests are completed via a secure browser, with students being provided their own secure logins. There are specific requirements that must be met for the Pearson Anywhere Proctored program to be used for a classroom. The instructor must submit classroom photos, provide information on the classroom layout, computer requirements, and must coordinate the purchase vouchers in advance. Exam results are released directly to the student, but may also be released to the instructor with student permission. For each of the 2 HSEP GIS courses, there is 1 primary textbook and multiple options for supplemental text and materials. For HSEP GIS 1, the primary textbook is Getting to Know ArcGIS. This textbook contains exercises and activities, along with all the data required to complete them. The GIS for Homeland Security textbook contains a collection of case studies and job profiles and is an excellent resource for helping students make the connection between GIS technology and potential careers within Homeland Security. For HSEP GIS 2, the primary workbook is Discovering GIS and ArcGIS, which also contains exercises along with all the data that's required to complete them. The ArcGIS book is a recommended text for HSEP GIS 2 and is available as a free download as an interactive PDF from the Esri website. There is also an available instructor supplement for the ArcGIS book. An optional text for both courses is A to Z GIS, which is a GIS dictionary containing key GIS and geospatial terminology. It should be noted for both Getting to Know ArcGIS and Discovering GIS and ArcGIS, the provided data to be used with the exercises and activities can easily be swapped out and replaced with data pulled from instructors or students from any number of online GIS portals and resources. This can be used to help expand or tailor activities to a student's locality or interests. All the textbooks noted here are available through Esri Press, and desk copies can be accessed by instructors from the Esri website. I'll now provide some information on the overall organization of the lesson plans that are provided with the curriculum. Each lesson plan is divided into 5 sections consistent with the 5 E's: engagement, exploration, explanation, elaboration, and evaluation. The engagement section is a student warm-up and might include a video, brief reading activity, or general class discussion. The exploration section is often a technical exercise from one of the workbooks or a guided activity led by the instructor. In the explanation section, the instructor will expand upon the content, often through slides or a presentation, or a live demonstration of the application, tool, or technology. The elaboration section will build on the lesson's key concepts and will often include a technical exercise that's customized to Homeland Security or emergency preparedness. The evaluation section is when students are evaluated on their participation, completion of all activities, as well as homework or quizzes when applicable. Each lesson plan also comes with information on lesson outcomes, which is a one-sentence description of the overall lesson, objectives, the key criteria that should be met during each lesson, and key teaching points including vocabulary, which can be used to help develop quizzes or matching exercises, key teaching points, and additional resources that are available to help instructors prepare for and deliver the lesson. Here you can see a sample lesson plan from HSEP GIS 1. This is Lesson 5 from Unit 2 and focuses on working within ArcGIS Online. As you can see, in the overview section, there's a summary of each of the 5 E's: engagement, exploration, explanation, elaboration, and evaluation. There's also a listing of all the required materials for the lesson, a list of the objectives and goals for the lesson, and a brief summary of the outcome. In the plan section, you will see additional detail provided for each of the 5 E's. As you can see, in this exercise, the engagement consists of a video warm-up where students will view a brief video clip talking about ArcGIS Online functionality, how to configure their own web map, how to load data into ArcGIS Online, how to organize their content, and how to share data. The exploration section will build on this and allow students to go in and create their own web map using the information that they've gathered during the video warm-up. In the explanation section, instructors will demonstrate a process for uploading spreadsheet data into ArcGIS Online and turning it into GIS data that can be visualized and analyzed within the ArcGIS Online environment. In the elaboration section, students will then perform this activity on their own using a spreadsheet provided by the instructor, and will use that data to formulate their own web map. Students will be evaluated in this lesson from their completion of the web map, the content and quality of the web map, and their overall participation. You can also see that there is a section for key points for teaching. It provides additional resources for the instructor, as well as a listing of key vocabulary. There's a tremendous amount of open data that's available to help instructors develop their own customized activities and exercises, or to help tailor the exercises from the textbooks to be specific to student interests or location. Here you can see a brief listing of some of the great open data resources that are available. This includes the Department of Homeland Security's Homeland Infrastructure Foundation level data, also known as Highfield Open. On the Highfield Open site, as you can see in the graphic on the bottom right corner, GIS data that's available is grouped thematically into categories such as transportation, law enforcement, natural hazards, and public health, among many others. The Federal Emergency Management Agency also has access to live GIS data feeds and their model and data inventory, where you can access information from disaster declarations and other FEMA-related exercises and activities. The state of Maryland has their IMAP site, where data is available from multiple state agencies, organizations, counties, and municipalities. Esri's ArcGIS Open Hub is also a great resource for finding data from various disciplines and various data owners. As mentioned, HSEP GIS 2 concludes with the delivery of a final GIS project by each student. The final GIS project should be developed using the tools and techniques that have been used through HSEP GIS 1 and 2, and each project should incorporate a project planning phase, data acquisition phase, some level of data management and analysis, and a final presentation, including methods and results. The presentation can be delivered through the use of ArcGIS Online-based story maps if necessary. Students can be provided sample topics by the instructor to be selected, or they can develop their own based on their interest with support from the instructor. If necessary, students can all be provided with the same topic, but with different data and analytic requirements by the instructor. The unused chapters from the Discovering GIS or the ArcGIS book, things such as Python, map algebra, or web mapping, could also be used as potential topics for high-performing or ambitious students. Each presentation should cover the project topic and purpose, general methodology, tools and techniques that were used, a summary of results and conclusions, as well as any challenges or lessons learned. And now a brief update on some things that are planned or in progress for the GIS curriculum. This includes further curriculum updates, including additional and enhanced lesson plans to cover new and emerging tools and technologies, a reassessment of the Esri ArcGIS desktop entry examination, and enhanced preparation resources for both students and instructors, webinars to provide instructors with resources to help develop exercises, access data, and better utilize the tools and technologies in the Esri ArcGIS platform, and additional instructor support. The intent is for the GIS curriculum to be updated to be consistent with the latest technologies and tools within the GIS industry. This includes updates to the Esri ArcGIS desktop suite of products. The curriculum is currently designed to be used with Esri's ArcGIS desktop versions 10.6 or 10.7, although the current version of ArcGIS desktop is at version 10.8. 10.8 can be used with this curriculum as it is considered to be a minor release, the only difference being some additions and modifications to key toolboxes, updates to extension functionality for spatial and network analysts, and some overall quality improvements. As the curriculum evolves, the intent is for ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Pro to be increasingly used to be consistent with Esri's product line. In addition, new and emerging technologies will be highlighted. Some of these are included in the current version of the curriculum and will be further expanded upon, including aerial mapping and remote sensing tools and technologies, 3D data and data visualization, unmanned aircraft systems and drones, mobile and field data collection technologies, and crowdsourced data. The HSEP GIS curriculum will continue to be updated to reflect changes to the ArcGIS entry certification exam, but may also be moved to a new certification if a suitable replacement can be found. Previous versions of the ArcGIS entry exam were focused on specific versions of ArcGIS for desktop, including the 10.3 and 10.4 exams, which have since been deprecated, and the 10.5 exam, which is still active. Since the 10.5 exam, Esri moved away from the model of having one specific exam for a version of ArcGIS, and the current and recommended version of the exam for this curriculum is 19-001, which is intended for ArcGIS versions 10.6 and beyond. The curriculum has been updated to reflect the increased focus on the 19-001 exam on web tools such as ArcGIS Online and the use of ArcGIS Pro. Whether you're a seasoned GIS instructor or teaching a GIS course for the first time, the MACEM&PS team wants to be a technical resource that you can rely on for support. Whether you need help with versioning considerations, the installation, upgrade, or configuration of the ArcGIS suite of software, or access to training resources, we're here to help. We'll be putting out a short, focused series of webinars that cover the use of ArcGIS Online, ArcGIS Desktop, and ArcGIS Pro, as well as access to open source data resources through several key open source GIS data portals. We're also hoping to reestablish our National Geospatial Intelligence Agency field trip that we've had in years past this year, and are available to support in-classroom activities, including GIS Day, as requested. GIS mentorship opportunities are also available through MACEM&PS staff and through our partners. Some exciting upcoming GIS events to make you aware of include the 2022 GIS Conference, which is the Maryland State GIS Conference and will be held from August 11th to 12th in a virtual setting, GIS Day 2020, which will be Wednesday, November 18th, and the 2021 Esri Federal GIS Conference, tentatively scheduled to be held in Washington, D.C. in late January 2021. In addition, the Maryland State Geographic Information Committee, also known as MSDE, is an excellent resource to help you connect with geospatial professionals and get access to trainings and other resources. The Maryland statewide GIS training program is also available for instructors to get hands-on training with the ArcGIS or desktop suite of products. Thank you for your interest in the HSEP GIS curriculum and in furthering geospatial education. For any questions or support, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, Anthony Dowell, at adowell@frederick.edu or at 240-291-DOWELL at adowell@frederick.edu or at 240-291-2083.